I should try and catalogue how I've been learning to sing, so that anyone who want to try do so as well. Now, it's hard to tune notes when you sing low, so it's one of the reasons why there's so many more female singers, apart from anatomical changes and all the rest. So down low you don't get as many beat frequencies for out of tune. It's much more difficult. You kind of have to know where you're going more. You can't feel it out. And you notice this when you play karaoke games, when they try to judge your vote. If you sing low, they have very hard to get the marks. And that's why a lot of male singers end up going crazy up high, because you can actually use your ears. Now, this is where a flute can scaffold low singing, and low singing is where males, if a male is to make a song of mating, squealing like a lady is not necessarily the best way to do it, but it depends. There are all sorts out there. I even believe a female who sings low, it's the lower you sing, it's calming. High shrill noises are alarming noises generally. Which, you know, yeah, if they're throes of ecstasy, that's wonderful. But if it's a complaint about not doing the dishes, then it's different. Like, why didn't you do the dishes? It's much better. So, forget the dishes. That's what I do. So, if you want to sing low, the other thing is people sort of think about making a tube longer to make it lower, like a trombone, and so they think lift your chin up to stretch the neck, but that's the wrong way to think about it. Your larynx is more like a string than a pipe. There's pipes to it, but so if you want to sing low, you really have to breathe from your belly, primarily because your chest has to be lifted up as high as possible, and you have to bring your chin down and tuck your Adam's apple into that chest cavity. So if you think of it up here, I can feel the larynx, and it's out here, so the pipe it's working on all in the stretch. But when I got it, you can get it down here, but you got it there. You've got some other resonances, because now you're sort of resonating with what is a cavernous thing. But then all you need is accuracy, because you effectively have no resonances down there. So it's not a muscular, you don't change the cavity to change the note, it's all about laying the string, and that's where a flute can help. And so yeah, you practice like that, trying to, yeah, and sort of sing and play and sing and play. And this is trying to develop some sort of reliable absolute pitch, but I don't know if that's the right word. So this is reputedly to be impossible unless you get trained in like 3 to 5 year group, or get, Valparate. If you can get someone to give you Valparate, no one will. They always think I'm joking when I ask. Alright, let's just demonstrate. So this is my favourite song to warm up with, and when I finish, hopefully you'll see why. Whoa, whoa. Oh, Tchaikovsky, born in Russia. Old French song. Sadly, apparently. Like most Russian music. No wonder they've got so many sad things to sing about. Whoa, whoa. And the first bars are rough because you've got to warm up. And this is a warm-up song, so it's not meant to be good, so don't judge me too harshly. Judge me on the last bar, not the first bar. Whoa, whoa. They say with opera singing, if you sing a note right, you shouldn't pull out a candle. Let's try. I've never done this before. I've told a lot of people it, but so they say you're wasting air if you can't sing a note in front of a candle and not put it out. Oh. So yeah. So if to get loud you push more air, you're not doing it right. In a way, it's easier to be air efficient if you sing loud, because you don't. Because to go quiet, you gotta. Feathering's the wrong word. You've got a little bit slip every now and again, the wispiness. Anyway, irrelevant. So now that you've had that, so there's two aspects to this. You got the voice, and you got the flute. So I have to play these songs. So I can do this method because I can play the flute. Now, if I was to give any advice to the powers that be about how to improve music education, we should stop this crazy practice of giving children recorders. Recorders were meant to drill fingers to play fast pieces back in the day, and those sorts of musicians are not needed anymore, and giving children such a limited instrument is painful for them and the teachers. So a flute, to a novice, a flute makes no noise at all. And true, it's fragile, but it's a treasure, anyway. So if you gave a classroom of children real flutes, they would not make noises anywhere near as quick, but neither would there be cacophonies of screeching banshees. Music teachers wouldn't come to hate their job when it came to wind instruments. And the reason why it's important, I think, for every child to learn the flute is because then, and especially in that critical time period, now they are their own teacher. This is learning management. Thank you. Thank you, Central Queensland University. If you teach children a flute in that critical age bracket, and from then on, they're geared to be in prime position to learn to sing whenever they choose to. And for males, that may very well be after puberty, where your vocal cords change. But yeah, even if it isn't, this is like a teacher anyway. What you do is, when you sing across, you have to hold the flute as if you're going to play it. But if you hear it, I talk, you can sort of hear it ring every now and again, and you can sort of direct more air. So if you hold the flute like you were going to play it, but instead of playing it, you sing notes and you listen for that ring. You can feel it in your fingers. I've got a ban on buying musical instruments, otherwise I'd just fill my house up with the musical instruments. I dream of cuddling a cello for long hours, for so many reasons. I once saw a very good burlesque act where a cello's ground stake was used as a massage device through the way it sends vibrations to the floor. And I've always wondered, to me it feels like, if you sat on my neck, I will take you to heaven, baby, with my Adam's apple. Whoa, that's the apple of desire right there. Oh, sorry. So once you get the play together, I can fumble my way to work out what sheet music sounds like in voice by bridging it with a flute. Whereas if I don't have the flute, I'm useless. And it makes it hard to play the piano and sing if you need to play the flute as well. And that's why I got into the looper, because the looper let me loop one, and then to my own shitty piano practice the other, and then try to put them together. But yeah, I don't think music needs to be good to be entertaining. There's something else that it needs. And what that is, wow. What is it? A certain sort of something? Anyway. So, it's funny, there's a lot of old songs. Some are good, some are bad. Some I really quite like. And so normally, the roosters hate the Barbara of Seville. They really dislike it. It mimics one of their annoyance calls. I just like it, but probably for the same reason. And this is more. If I do singing songs, they're usually not quick, so the finger part, the fluty part, doesn't really ever get warmed up, and so there's always this clunkiness. So it's kind of, I find it's better then to, now that my vocal cords are a little bit warm, just let them, because those neurons are tingling. And now what I've got to do is make these ones tingle, so I play a couple of good songs, and then, so yeah, it'll be Barbara Seville and the trumpet voluntary, and then I'll do the trumpet voluntary in voice after the flute. So this sort of, yeah, this is my warm-up drill. Now I should have a drum beat going for this, but it wouldn't be authentic. Normally I don't. But yeah. Sometimes I try and keep time with my hips. So many things wrong with it. I don't normally do that. Yeah. Oh yeah, funnily enough, the best way to play flute's also the best way to sing deep, because you do want to breathe with your diaphragm and keep all this in place, because by keeping this all in place, you got more control. As soon as you're changing a posture, trying to breathe, you don't have fine. There's quite a precise little bit of air coming out of your lips, and where it points is a wonderland of. But anyway, so not really a fun song to listen to. Much more fun to play on the trumpet. Hurts, but if you can hit as written in that piece on a trumpet, it is absolutely squealing, and you can hear it run. I would love to have two of myself, so I could, maybe if I put a microphone on a drone, I could land it and see if I can hear myself and take it back up. Thank you. Alright, so the point about it is why I do this is because this is like a crossover, because it's a bit hard to sing, but it's fun to sing. but I sing it much lower. That was pretty good. What was that? That was it. What was that? Maybe I should just play the song here. I should be doing something other than trying to dance. Anyway, so you say to yourself, look, you're singing Purcell's trumpet voluntary from the late 1600s is not what you're into, and I can appreciate that. So I know a lot of people like Bowie. I don't know, I do too, but a lot of his songs are too hard, so the only one I can play of his, but I will do it because, I don't know. Oh, I could do a different one. No. I'm not doing this because it's good, but because I enjoy it. But this is what I do. I try to practice songs. So, for instance, now we've got Space Oddity. Let's try this one. Yeah. Need a bit of light. Use the star. Waiting in the sky. Oh, I could do the looper. Yeah, go on, let's do the looper. Well, this is not a good song for the looper. Oh, let's do the hurricane. I've got a treat for you. Yeah, the hurricane. The hurricane. Yeah. So, now do we do the hurricane? Too much. Hurricane is too much. Some other time. Sometimes I should listen to myself. I think it's important in disputes to not bully your own self, because if you do that, well, I don't know. It's a funny sort of self-abuse. Well, not funny in a ha-ha way. Anyway, that's all that you need to know. Alright. Ground control the major tom. Now, I could go lower. Ground control. Let's just do that for fun. It's shit, but it's good practice. Because this is practice. I'm not doing this to show off. I'm doing this to try and get better. Ground control the major tom. Ground control the major tom. Take your protein pills and put Sing countdown, engines on. Check ignition and may God's love be with you. This is ground control, Major Tom. You've really made the grade. And the papers want to know who shirts you wear. Now it's time to leave your capsule if you're there. Oh. 4. This is Major Tom to ground control. They have a double up, and the repeat is one bar on the other page. Oh, I should put a note on the book. I'm going to sing it up because you've heard me trying doing below. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade. And the papers want to know whose shirts you wear. Now it's time to leave your capsule if you dare. This is now I'm trying to jump off. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade, and the papers want to know whose shirts you wear. Now it's time to leave your capsule if you dare. For here am I sitting in my tin can, far above the world, far above the world, planet Earth is planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. Though I'm past 100,000 miles, I'm feeling very still. And I think my spaceship knows which way to go. Tell my wife I love her very much, she knows. Ground control to Major Tom, your circuit's dead, there's something wrong. Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? For here am I floating in my tin can, far above the moon. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. And then there's an ending in that. Alright. See, I'm not saying I'm good at it, but I'm better than I was. And this is my teacher. I mean, the hard thing is with teaching is if you need a teacher to stand beside you going, no, yes, it's a good way to do it, but it's very... My silver lady works very... No, she doesn't. She does not work for free. She costs my breath. But I learned to kiss her just right, so it's not too arduous. More amor than adore. No, adieu. Oh, adore, not Arduous. Arduous. Funny word. Arduous.